Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of Mondays Are for the Nerds. I'm your co-host, Jay Wright.
And I am your co-host, Tristan Stump.
Coco. Good movie.
Yeah, very good movie. You know, it's getting turned into a Broadway musical.
It's honestly about time.
Yeah, it's about time a Pixar movie makes it to Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Didn't think we'd be bringing it up this week. Thank you for joining us on another week. We're hoping to recap your entertainment news that happened this week.
Yeah, I hope to bring you up to speed, brighten up your Monday a little bit with some nerdy news.
Oh, yeah. Did you do anything good this week?
A little bit of preface before our small talk, though. If you do hear laughing or anything in the background, we do have a guest with us. My cousin Andrew wanted to see our process for which we do the podcast. So
our first guest. I hope this picked that up.
Oh, probably.
We were
did.
applauding.
These things are both sensitive and not sensitive enough.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But, no, I did pretty much the same thing I did last week because I also had as many days off last week as I did this week. So I played some more Sea of Stars. It's still like, I want to see where this is going. Things that I thought were going to happen, and things I'm like, what the heck happened? Yeah. Also played the first 3 hours of one of the Famicom detective games, which I will get to later. But I bought the first one, the remake of the first one. And so I played a little bit of that. Didn't get a whole lot of TV watched this week. It was mostly games and then playing. There was one game that took 13 hours to download because it downloaded it and then it took 12. It downloaded it in about an hour because it was at like a 50 or something gigabyte game, and it took 12 hours to unzip. It's you've heard of Genshin Impact?
Oh yeah.
The same people that make it made another game. I was like, I'll give it a try. I'm bored, and then I had to wait until the next morning to play it.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that's basically all I did this week. If I am missing anything, I mean, obviously today we celebrated my dad's 50th birthday.
Yeah.
How about you? Do anything exciting?
No, I mean, yes, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to the exciting stuff later, yeah.
Yeah. I did get more. I touched the Titanic for the first time in almost 2 weeks, and I binged that most of Thursday, a little bit of Friday and last night as well. Or last night was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am on the final section of the ship.
The final. So you're on the third box.
I'm on the third box. I built the fourth smokestack, and then that was its own section. And then this last section is like the rudders and all that. The whole back that's long. I'm really into that, and which means I'm like halfway into season 5 of Cheers. I'm telling you what, I didn't care for Diane, but.
Yeah.
Is that a hot take?
No, not really.
I don't really miss her. I love Rebecca.
Yeah.
I love Rebecca. And I'm looking forward to more Lilith because I know she's a main character later on.
Yeah.
But I like what she's in now. And like, there's been some good episodes.
Yeah, it's both not a hot take and a hot take at the same time.
Yeah.
But
I mean, didn't she like win? And I know she was nominated for a lot.
Yes.
For that role. I can't remember if she won or not.
People liked their relationship. I don't know if they liked her as a character. Mm-hmm. At least this is me reading things about it. Obviously, I was not alive while the show was still on.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. I just didn't like how she basically forced him to get proposed, and then he went along with it, and I was like, I don't really like this. Even though I knew what was going to happen at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But this potential spoiler alert if you haven't seen Cheers.
Yeah, for
the young of us.
Yeah.
The young ones who don't know what happens in Cheers. But yeah, I did that, and then I started Unravel. I did find it on the PlayStation Store, bought it, the first one. Infuriates me more than the second one did. There's been too many times where I've played that game and want to take my controller through the window. This makes me so mad. But alas, I'm almost close to finishing it. So
I did have some moments with Famicom Detective where I was like that. Not because it's a hard game, because it's a visual novel and you're solving murders. But there are ways they wrote characters where I was like, this is frustrating. Because all I'll say is this, because I don't want to give too many spoilers. Because even though it's a 35, 36-year-old game, it didn't make it to the United States until 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So there's a character, you're playing as a private investigator, and you ask a character, hey, can I ask you some questions? And he says, sure, I'm kind of in a hurry, but I'll answer your questions. You go take him to another room to ask him questions, and every question topic, he was like, you're wasting my time. I'm not answering that.
My God, you volunteered for this.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, dude.
Give me permission. Why are you screaming at me right
and
now?
there's been a couple characters like that where I'm like, I'm trying to like this game, but holy crap. I mean, I do like the game.
Character right now.
I do like the game, but yeah.
The characters make it real hard.
Some of the characters you interrogate where I'm just like, I'm supposed to be progressing the story here, and you are not. Do you want me to accuse you of murder? Because this is how you get me to accuse you of murder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But,
that's kind of like me. Like, through no fault of Unravel's, it's a beautiful game.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I'm like, part of it's my stupidity where I just don't see what part I need to, like, latch onto.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it's like, I know what I need to latch onto. I'm actively trying, but I keep dying over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm like,
oh, there's been some times like that with Sea of Stars, because a lot of Sea of Stars stuff is traversal of an overworld where you jump and you climb. And there's been times where I've just been like, I've been in this room for 5 minutes. How do I? Oh, this pixel art that is also in the background that is also pixel art. I need to latch onto that. And
yeah,
so
it's half between that and half like
yeah,
I swing too hard and hit electric.
Mm-hmm.
Drives me insane. Anyway, that's what I did, apart from the big thing, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Should I get into releases this week?
Yeah, go ahead and get into movie and stuff releases.
So, in terms of on the movie side, on the VOD and digital side, Monday, July 15th, we got Horizon and American Saga Chapter 1 released on VOD just like 2 weeks after it came out in theaters. Tuesday, July 16th, we got this VOD release of The Strangers Chapter 1, Tuesday, and The Dead Don't Hurt. And then Friday, July 19th, we got the VOD releases of Clear Cut and Thelma, which you'll probably be watching soon.
Yes.
It's so good. You're going to love it. In new movie releases, on Tuesday, July 16th, we got the release of direct-to-DVD Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, which features Kevin Conroy's final recorded lines of dialogue as Batman before he sadly passed away, which was so beautiful.
Dude, you watched the clip,
I've seen the
right?
clip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the line is so for those who don't know, which there's not going to be a whole lot who don't know if you're listening to this podcast, but for those who don't know, Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman. He voiced Batman
Since the animated series.
Alongside
Mark
Hamill and
as Joker.
A slew of others. And so the definitive Batman and the definitive Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, Kevin Conroy passed away in 2022 from intestinal cancer. And so his final line as Batman while he was dying was, if it has to end, at least I go out being Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Which, contextual to the movie, it's like, oh, that's cool. But then if you know, like,
the behind it,
it's
story.
Depressing. I teared up. Like, it was like, that was heartbreaking. But, and it's also probably Mark Hamill's last time voicing Joker, because he voiced Joker for Multiverses, and then he voiced Joker for this because Kevin Conroy. But he put it in. I mean, people, this is old news we're saying, but he put it in his own Joker's words. Without Batman, there is no punchline.
Oh, yeah.
So he, which is awesome that he wants to do that.
It's perfectly understandable.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't take it any other way.
And I'm just glad they got to go out with a bang, because that scene,
a line like that, the line drop. Then on Thursday, July 18th, on Amazon Prime Video, we got My Spy: The Eternal City, the sequel to My Spy. JJ, a veteran CIA agent played by Dave Bautista, reunites with his protege Sophie in order to prevent a catastrophic nuclear scheme aimed at the Vatican, which disrupts a high school choir trip to Italy. And then the only big release we got on Friday, which some of you might have heard of, a little 1990s movie called Twister. You've probably heard us talk about this on the pod if you're a dedicated listener.
Several times over by now.
Oh, yeah. The long-awaited standalone sequel Twisters hit theaters Friday. The synopsis goes, haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado, Kate Cooper, played by Daisy Edgar Jones, gets lured back to the open plains by her friend Javi, played by Anthony Ramos, to test a groundbreaking new tracking system. She soon crosses paths with Tyler Owens, played by the one and only illustrious Glenn Powell. A charming but reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures. As storm season intensifies, Kate, Tyler, and their competing teams find themselves in a fight for their lives as multiple systems converge over central Oklahoma. And, of course, the original one had the duo of Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton. And then Glenn Powell, he paid tribute to him on the opening day of Twisters, saying, quote, "I just want to tip my hat to the legend that is Bill Paxton, a great friend of mine who sought poetry in the natural world. His boots are impossible to fill, but this life is all about chasing the greats," which he passed away 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Sadly. And then it did earn, as of this morning, $32.3 million on the domestic opening day, which is Friday.
Yeah.
Same opening day number as Dune Part 2 and only 800,000 below Oppenheimer's opening day. And so it's definitely getting number one at the box office this week.
Oh, yeah.
It's the summer blockbuster, maybe apart from Deadpool.
The two summer blockbusters.
The two summer blockbusters.
Yeah.
And back to back, right at that. I loved it. There was so many scenes that gave me anxiety watching this movie. The opening scene, I had to stop myself from having a small anxiety attack because I was like, because we saw it in IMAX.
Yeah, so
and
definitely
I was like
overstimulating and the surround sound. And
tornadoes stress me out in general.
Yeah.
And just watching this, I was like, because thunderstorms, I'm fine with. But you throw a tornado at me, I'm like, But I loved it. Of course, the music, so good.
Yeah.
So good. We'll get to that later. But enough of what I liked about it.
We have a special treat for you. We've been talking so much about, or Jay's been talking so much about how excited his mom is for this. So we arranged for his mom to give us her
natural
thoughts.
Review and reaction, recorded on the way back, I'd say about 15 to 20 minutes after we got out of the theater. So it's fresh.
So we will play that for you here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be back with us after that.
Yep. Just tell about when you saw the first one and what you thought of it.
Okay, so I saw the first Twister movie in Topeka, Kansas when it came out years ago. That's telling my age. And when I saw it, it was kind of neat because it was actually thunderstorming outside during the movie. So it was like, could you really tell if it was the thunder outside or the thunder in the movie? And another really kind of unique thing was I grew up in Oklahoma, and the meteorologist that they had, Gary England, on the news clips in the first one was the one that I grew up watching on TV as a teenager.
And then what made you excited for this one?
Well, just the fact that I had that connection, home state connection with the first one, and this being Oklahoma again, and I have a high respect for tornadoes. I have a fear for them, but I kind of like watching out for them.
What did you think about it?
Oh, I liked it. It was pretty intense. Both of them were intense, and they were intense kind of in a different way. And without spoilers, I can't really say which one I think is more intense, because they both were.
Did you like it better than the first one? Or which one did you like more?
I think I actually liked the first one better. I think maybe it's because it was the first one, and sometimes second ones aren't always better, but maybe I had a better connection with it. Even though some of the places in the second one I had actually been in. I've been in Enid, Oklahoma. I've been in El Reno. I've been in Stillwater. But maybe the first one seemed a little more real too.
Would you recommend people go see it?
Oh yeah, it was fun. And I was telling you and your dad that I thought it was kind of ironic that so many people in that audience live in an area where we can go out and watch an actual tornado go through our yard, but we're paying money to sit and watch it on the big screen.
On IMAX?
On IMAX. And, you know, I liked it on IMAX. I wondered sometimes what it would be like in 3D. That might have made the intensity level go way up higher.
Anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. Thanks for letting us go with you, Jay.
As you can see, she really liked it. She was very excited for it, and she's bragged to multiple people. We were at our family reunion today, and this guy, did I tell you about this?
No.
One of the guys there randomly brought up that he like sometimes works in Oklahoma, and she's like, yeah, she's having a conversation with him, and then she goes, have you seen Twisters yet? I was like, oh no, Mom. But yeah, she really liked it, and I know tons of other people who are very excited for this because it's just a Midwest thing to go to like worry about a tornado, and just cowboys chasing. As Glenn Powell says in the thing, his shirts, this ain't my first tornado. Anyway, on the TV side of things, Sunday, July 14th, we got the MGM Plus series premiere of Emperor of Ocean Park. We also got the season premiere of Naked and Afraid, Last One Standing on Discovery. Monday, July 15th, we got the Hit Monkey Season 2 dropped on Hulu, and Wonderoos series premiere dropped on Netflix. Tuesday, July 16th, we got the Acolyte season finale, which features some awesome lightsaber scenes. I liked it. And he got some teases. I'm not going to say on this because it spoils it. But,
Yeah.
But, ooh, do you know?
I know only because every Star Wars fan I follow on Twitter was complaining about it.
Oh, complaining?
It's
We've
hard.
Went over this that I'm in the
you're in the minority, but at the same
show.
time, as a Star Wars fan who likes a lot of things most Star Wars fans don't, it's hard to please Star Wars fans.
Yeah. We got the season 2B premiere of Judge Steve Harvey on ABC. Wednesday, July 17th, we got the season 26 premiere of Big Brother. Thursday, July 18th, we got the series of Those About to Die on Peacock. It explores the dark side of ancient Rome's gladiatorial competitions and the spectacle-driven business of entertaining the masses. It features Anthony Hopkins in it, which I'm very interested in that with Gladiator coming out. We got on ABC, we got the season 6 premiere of Press Your Luck, and then the series premiere of Lucky 13, a new game show. On Max, on Thursday, July 18th, we got the new Kite Man show, got a series premiere.
Yes.
Is Hayden excited about that?
Oh
Did we
yeah,
talk about it?
yeah. He and Ace were talking about it in the group chat, and we're super excited about it. I watched I watched the trailer. I haven't watched the show yet because I'm time, but I've heard it's getting good reviews, which is good. Like it's like kind of not doing as good as Harley Quinn, but like for a spinoff
of a lesser known villain.
For a spinoff of Harley Quinn, which Harley Quinn is kind of its own she's becoming her own thing, and that's a whole conversation in itself. But for you get Harley Quinn, who's well known, and you get a spinoff about Kite Man, which was a Batman villain who was only brought back a D-list, who was only brought back to the modern era because of a pun. For him to now like have this he has his own fandom, and he's getting a TV show which is like Villain Cheers, which I think is
oh my goodness,
such a good concept.
Okay. I haven't seen Harley Quinn, but now you say that, I'm like,
well, it's because he buys Noonan's, which is the villain bar in Gotham, and so it's about him.
So he's like the Sam of this show.
Yeah, it's about him and Gilded Glider. I can't remember the name of the. I'm a terrible comic villain or comic. I'm a terrible comic nerd. Anyway, he and his girlfriend, who is he and his girlfriend buy Noonan's, and it's about them running Noonan's. And I'm sure it isn't Villain Cheers all the time.
But that's what you can like relate to.
But that's
anyone.
like kind of. I mean, Bane's gonna be in there, and anytime the Harley Quinn version of Bane is brought in, it's like it's amazing. Hayden and I used to quote him all the time.
Yeah,
I've seen you must practice patience, young Damien. It's so funny. Anyway.
And then on Thursday, July 18th, we also got the season 6 part 1 premiere of Cobra Kai. The final, which I believe is the final season.
I believe so.
Part 2 drops, I believe, in November, and then part 3, which is the last part, drops early 2025. And then on Friday, July 19th, we got the series premiere of Lady in the Lake, which is a drama on Apple TV Plus. And then on the music side of things, as previously mentioned, we got the release of Twisters, the album, featuring a bunch of country stars, which I've listened to, I think all but one. I was in the middle of the last song when I got here. Fire. Straight fire.
Yeah.
So good. There's so many. I've added like half of them to my likes playlist. Not that I dislike the others, but I'm just like, oh, it's so good. I love it so much. And we also got a new single and music video from Weird Al, marking his reappearance, his first music in 10 years with the single Polka Mania.
His first
Is it
his first
his own music?
his first music since whenever he did Hamilton Polka, which was a couple years after 2014. So it's
Okay.
first time in like 7 or 8 years maybe,
Yeah.
because he did Mandatory Fun, and he said when that came out that was his last album and that he would only do singles, and the only single we got between 2014 and now
Was Hamilton.
was the Hamilton Polka.
Which is
and
good.
so now we got this polka remix, which was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Let's list. We're gonna list off 4 songs from the first 4 that came to somebody's mind. I've not listened to it yet.
Yeah.
But I want to so bad. We'll start with "Shake It Off" by my girl Taylor Swift.
Shake It Off. We got Old Town Road. We got Adele's Hello.
And then
Which-
"Bad Guy."
And Bad Guy, Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. Adele's Hello is probably the only one of all the songs that were included. I'm like, that's an interesting one, because that one's older like than all the other songs. That
Oh,
are,
yeah,
I
that
mean,
came
that
out,
and
like-
Shake It Off. Shake It Off is also pretty. That's well, it had to have.
2013.
And that I said that it had to have been before Mandatory Fun, because it was
Yeah.
insane. So
Yeah.
like. But so there were some ones, but he's done that like that's not that it is all his polka mixes are always whatever
Like
modern
new,
songs there are,
yeah.
because there's one where it's specifically all like older songs and stuff, or older for the, I mean they're all older now, but like older for the time. Anyway, so it was pretty good. He did put, I will warn you for when you watch it, he does sing one line of "We Don't Talk About Bruno."
Why'd you tell me that if you wanted me to listen? Just kidding. I'll listen to it.
It's one line, and the music video is also what's worth, because it's like the Alpocalypse Polka Mix music video, and I don't think he did a music video for the Mandatory Fun one. He might have. I know someone did a animated collab, but it's like
There's
those.
some music videos for Mandatory Fun.
He did, but I don't think he did it for the Polka Mix.
Oh,
I could
okay,
be
okay.
wrong, but I know there was a animator collab where they animated that polka mix, but this polka mix is like the Alpocalypse one, where it's a bunch of different animators coming together.
Yeah.
Bill Plimpton did one. There was so in the early 2000s, like early YouTube, there was a guy, I can't remember his name now, but he animated music videos for Albuquerque, which is Weird Al's longest song. I think it might have been beat out by another one. It's too late for me to actually pull from my brain. Anyway. But he animated 2. They were pretty well-known fan-made animated music videos. He animated a part of the music video for this.
So it's like a bunch of animators put together.
Yeah, it's just animators put
Kind of
together.
like JonTron's fireworks video, where
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bunch of stuff like that.
We-
Okay,
you know,
okay.
and anyway, so
Yeah.
a lot of animators that I recognized from being online, or just recognized because I'm an animation fan.
Yeah.
Pretty good music video. Pretty funny music video. There's a lot of fun, especially so Shape of You is also.
Oh, we can't sing it.
No, we can't sing it. Shape of You is also in the song, and the part that Bill Plimpton's the one that animated it, and the minute if you know his style, the minute you see it, you're like, oh, that's Bill Plimpton, and it's so funny. It shouldn't be, but it's so funny.
This is the Shape of You part you said.
Yeah.
All right. And that's all I got for releases this week. You got any on your site? It was
I got
quite
me
a bit.
some gaming releases. Not a whole lot. You would think the summer would have some, quite a bit, but
Don't
it's
say that
actually
because you know it's coming up next week.
Oh yeah, Comic-Con, but games can pop up at Comic-Con, but it's not gonna be as much
Are
as
they not
comics,
often?
and not as often as you would think, unless it's a tie-in game or.
To one of
But
the-
no, watch me say that, and then we'll find out a bunch of. Anyway, so July 15th this week, we got the console release of Darkest Dungeon 2, the sequel to the roguelike RPG originally released in May of 2023. On July 16th, we got Flock, the co-op multiplayer relaxing game about shepherds flying on a giant bird and collecting creatures, released on PC, PlayStation, and
Ooh.
Xbox. It's got a doofy art style. It looks pretty fun. We also got Magical Delicacy, a Metroidvania-inspired game about a young girl who delivers food hoping to become a full-fledged witch. And it looks pretty good. I saw it was getting mixed reviews, but it looks pretty fun to me. On July 17th, we got, you want those games, right? So here you go. Let's see you clear them. 2 on PC,
You scared me for this. I was
PlayStation,
like,
and
what?
Switch. That's the name of it. So you know how mobile games, their ads are always some random mini game that isn't actually the game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So this
Oh, yeah.
so this Japanese company, I can't remember the name of it, but they're known for making the Klonoa games and the Katamari Delicacy remake games.
Mm-hmm.
They made a game that was a collection of those actual games, like actually made those games and turned it into a collection you could buy. And so this is a sequel to that.
That sounds
And it's got that long name that I will not repeat.
Yeah.
So we got that on July 17th on PC, PlayStation, Switch. We also got Nobody Wants to Die, a sci-fi detective game released on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. The synopsis is, lose yourself in the dystopian world of New York 2329. Immortality comes at a price that someone has to pay. In this interactive noir story, lead the investigation using advanced technology as Detective James Cara, who risks it all in a pursuit of a serial killer targeting the city's elite. Looks pretty cool. And on July 17th, we also got the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate, the roguelike, releasing on Switch. Unleash Shell upon the Foot Clan in a roguelike quest to rescue Master Splinter.
Yes.
On July 18th, we got the release of Nintendo World Championships NES Edition on Nintendo Switch. It's a collection of NES speedrunning challenges, which I was like kind of like, oh, well, I might pick it up, but I've heard pretty good thing. Like, it's one of those ones where you don't think it would be addicting and it ends up being addicting. So I might actually have to check it out. We also got Bo Path of the Teal Lotus, released on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch. A 2.5D hand-drawn action platformer following the journey of Bo, a celestial blossom, descended from the heavens to fulfill an ancient prophecy. Use your legendary bow staff to bounce and glide fluidly through otherworldly realms of hand-drawn, dreamlike landscapes, strange and adorable yokai, and massive monsters summoned from ancient legends of Japan. We got Dungeons of Hinterberg on PC and Xbox, a 3D action platformer. Armed with a sword and tourist guide, explore the beautiful alpine village of Hinterberg and uncover the magic hidden within its dungeons. Master magic, solve puzzles, and slay monsters. All this and more await you in Hinterberg. And it looks pretty cool. You talk to NPCs and you go into the dungeon. It looks like something that I would enjoy and then be like, that was a pretty good game, and then move on with my life.
Yeah.
But I might
enjoying the time.
Yeah. We also got Union of Gnomes on PC, a roguelike deck building game. Onwards to revolution in the challenging deck building roguelike. Free your gnome comrades, assemble your squad, mind wieners, that's supplies, slay the slavers, and take down the fiercest of them all, Snow White. Freedom to gnomes.
What?
That's the description.
You said gnomes, and then I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a gnome war game, and then you said deck building. I was like,
so what it is, you get your gnomes, and then you get it's like a card game, but as a video game. That's what I mean, like deck building. Not. Did you think like building like a deck, like a porch on your backyard? That would be an interesting game. Unionized like carpenter gnomes who are like,
it's like, what is this landscaping business you're talking about? And where does Snow White fit in? Why is she evil? It's like the homeowners HOA, homeowners association.
Yeah. Snow White and all the Disney princesses you didn't know are actually part of the HOA.
Yeah.
So which is why it's like it's really hard to get a house in Disney World, because if you move anywhere near you get your princesses, like Aurora is a little more laid back about things, but you get Snow White and she is very specific about everything. If the animals are not singing and hanging up your laundry, which she makes you hang up your laundry, if you don't, anyway, I don't know.
If somebody ever says on this podcast, you're not stupid, come back to this moment. I thought you were actually talking about it like an actual deck building game. Building a pet deck. Oh my goodness.
That is that's my releases for this week.
This week in posters, we didn't have much at all. We got a release of a new Longlegs poster, just saying it was the #1 movie in America. We got a couple new release posters of The Boys Season 5 finale, and we got a new poster for Beetlejuice. In trailers, we got the new trailer for Terminator Zero, the Terminator anime, dropping on August 29th on Netflix. Got a new trailer for Anora coming in October to theaters. A new teaser, a little 30-second teaser, or a minute, I believe, for Transformers 1, dropping September 20th in theaters. Very excited for that.
I'm so excited for that.
A new trailer for A Different Man. It's dropping September 20th in theaters. New trailer for The Killer, which is John Woo's remake of his own movie, coming out on August 23rd on Peacock, not October. We got a new trailer for Beetlejuice coming in September 6th in theaters, which looks awesome. Michael Keaton, I love him so much.
Yeah.
He can do nearly no wrong. We got a new trailer for The Dune Prophecy releasing in November on HBO. It's a new series set, I believe, either 100 or 1,000 years before Paul was born. And a new trailer, the final trailer for Alien Romulus, releasing on August 16th in theaters. In terms of release dates, we didn't get much specific release dates. We just got some windows confirmed this week. The Surfer, Nicolas Cage's next film, will release in 2025. Hush, which is Mike Flanagan's film, will be released on digital for the first time ever on August 27th. Stranger Things Season 5, Netflix confirmed, will release in 2025, as well as Carl Urban confirmed that the final season of The Boys, which is his 5th season, will release in 2026. I got a little bit of miscellaneous news this week, starting with Longlegs opened with $22.6 million domestically, biggest opening ever for Neon and biggest opening for an independent horror film in a decade, which is pretty good news for that. We also got an announcement this week that Warner Brothers Discovery is considering splitting in half, saying the studio would split into 2 different companies, one for streaming and studio assets and one for all cable network assets. I have one comment on this.
Yeah, what's your comment?
And I immediately saw this when I saw it. Sure seems like you're spending a lot of money on that. It'd be a shame if you had to write it off for a tax break. David.
So the thing about this is that means the past. How long has it been? It feels like it's been forever, but it's
since they merged.
Yeah, since they merged. Was it 2021 or 2022?
Before COVID.
It was after COVID.
Oh, it was after COVID?
I want to say it was.
They might have talked about it before.
Google break.
Yeah.
Yeah, they merged in 2022.
Okay.
So it's only been 2 years. It's felt like it's been since before COVID, just because they've been it's been.
That might have been. I've been wanting to think of when they first announced that they would be.
Yeah, and it took that long. Yeah. But so the past 2 years of all this tax write-off, this canceling of projects, losing of jobs, just all this different stuff, the irreversible things he did to the industry as a whole.
Not getting Brendan Fraser's Firefly.
Because he did these things, and other companies, and this is my perspective of things because they were the ones that were making the headlines first. Not that other companies haven't done tax write-offs, but he started doing them with reckless abandon.
Yeah.
And then other companies looked at that and went, we can do that. And so it led to other companies eventually stopped. That was the thing.
And David
did not. And so it's all this damage done over a course of 2 years, and now it's like, oh, well, time to jump ship. This is actually not working out after all. But the thing is about the split is it sounds like it's potentially a good thing if the right people are put in, as long as he's going with Discovery. Because I would imagine it's that Discovery and Warner Brothers are breaking up.
Yeah.
It might stay as Warner Discovery and just some other company is the new name for the cable stuff or whatever. If he's the one that goes with them and new people are put in charge, that's a good thing. But who knows if that's actually going to happen? I haven't read what
and
their
who knows, they could be worse than David.
And that's
like
the
the
thing.
other end of the coin.
And on top of that, all cable companies go with the split, meaning that Cartoon Network as a cable company goes with them, but Cartoon Network as a studio stays with Warner Brothers, which leads to a whole other slew of issues potentially.
Yeah.
So it's like when you first read the news, it's a mix of frustrating and like, oh yes, but then you think about it a little more and you get about as cynical as I've been getting about Warner Brothers, and it's like, we'll see.
This is years of pent up, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this is me preparing to graduate college with an animation degree and going, oh no.
Right. Wednesday, we got the Emmy nomination announcements in the morning for the 2023-2024 TV season. I believe the Emmys are being held in September. I'm just going to burn through these because there's a lot of them. For the drama, we got nominations for the drama category for The Crown, Fallout, Gilded Age, The Morning Show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Shogun, Slow Horses, Slow Horses, and Three Body Problem. They were all nominated for the best drama, as well as in that you got a lot of best actors, a lot of best actresses. I mean, The Morning Show got 4 best supporting actress nominees, 3 Best Supporting Actor. Shogun was a surprise because people thought it was going to be in the limited series whenever it came out, and then they announced that no, it was being picked up. They were like pushing it as a drama series, so that upended a lot of stuff. Like The Crown was going to win a lot.
Yeah.
And now Shogun, which I want to watch very badly. I just haven't yet. Gary Oldman got nominated for Best Actor for Slow Horses, which I was like, nice. And The Fallout got some big. Walton Goggins got an actor. He's the only actor or acting nomination for The Fallout. And
I'm surprised they didn't get
Ella.
Does Emmys do makeup?
There was a lot of technical stuff, but
Okay.
in the technical side, I only did writing and directing because once I got to 4.5 pages, I was like, oh no.
Okay. Because I'm reading through your list here. I'm like, man, that's.
Oh, there's
we're
a
not
lot
gonna
more.
we're not gonna list all the nominations.
Oh yeah.
We had started to, and it's like, no, it's too much.
I mean, Shogun alone already, what I have on here in terms of acting, best drama, directing, and writing, it got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nominations,
And that's not to
came out
mention
with
the
like
amount of
26
and
total,
that's not the amount of nominations that a certain show got in comedy, which we'll get to.
which broke the record for that.
Yeah.
Shogun got 20. It came away with the most nominations of any show period of this year. I think maybe ever, but I think 25 or 26, and then Hijack and Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty also got nominations for Best Actor for Idris Elba, and then Best Guest Actor for Tracy Letts, and Best Directing, respectively. On the comedy side of things, we got nominations for Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Hacks, Only Murders in the Building, Palm Royale, Reservation Dogs, and What We Do in the Shadows all got nominated for Best Comedy. As previously mentioned, The Bear beat 30 Rock as having the most nominations for a comedy in a single
year.
Single Emmys year by 1.
Yeah.
30 Rock had 22, and The Bear came out with 23.
Yeah.
Again, total, including the technical side, which I have yet to see Bear.
I haven't watched Bear in full. I've watched clips, and it's
It looks like a drama, and that's been a thing since
I know it's a
first
thing
Emmys.
that people talk about all the time. It's weird that it's under comedy when, yes, it has a lot of comedy moments.
I would consider it a drama myself.
I would consider it a dramedy, like a
But
drama first
dramedy,
and comedy second, but a lot of
Yeah.
comedy. It's almost like when it'd be like there's certain sitcoms that are very drama heavy, but you could definitely to watch them and go, okay, that's a sitcom.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like getting nominated for drama or something. It's like that's weird. So
Yeah.
it's like Bear. It's
Bear.
an odd.
And that's why it's
an odd
basically
beast.
Yeah, it's the shoe-in for basically any acting thing.
Oh yeah.
Because you could tell the year before it came out, Abbott Elementary like almost swept.
Yeah.
And like before that, Schitt's Creek, which we don't have to bleep.
Yeah.
But it swept that year, and then you can tell with season 2 of Abbott Elementary was the same year that The Bear was up, and then it won almost everything.
I've been meaning to watch The Bear. I have this problem where even though I have basic interests in certain things, when a certain show catches on and that's all I ever see, I'm like, I'll get to it later. I don't feel the need to get to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, because I don't consider myself that kind of like, it's popular, so I don't want to watch it.
Right.
But I just kind of instinctively be like, well, that's popular. I'll catch it later.
Get to it. That's kind of like how I was with Shogun. Not like the exact same, but I was like, I want to see it because I like the history. But I'm also like, this is like, it feels like a commitment.
Like I have a lot of smaller things I want to watch first. Like
exactly.
it's like
that's
that
why I watch
happens.
a lot of comedies, because I can fit like 3 of them in the span of like 1, and then not be able to start another episode.
Yeah.
But about The Bear, the one episode that has like John Bernthal and Bob Odenkirk from season 2, and I think Sarah Paulson, most of the cast.
I think that's a flashback episode or something.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
But it got nominated for. It is, I believe, is the most nominated single episode in Emmys history.
Oh wow!
I could be wrong by that, but at least in recent memory,
Mm-hmm.
because like most of the guest spots from that work from that episode. It got best writing for that episode, best directing specifically for that episode, and I've heard it's like one of the best things to come out of that show. Episode. And I've seen a clip of it, and I'm like, oh wow.
You want to talk about Emmys? I tell you an episode where I watched it, and I was like, that better get an Emmy, and it did. And that was the deaf episode of Only Murders.
Oh, that episode was so good.
Right?
Oh my goodness, that episode was so good.
Anyway, I
That
know
whole
that
first season was like a thing of
like
its own,
this
but-
isn't like that was an aside, but like we're talking about
I
Emmys.
haven't said that in a while. Sorry.
Yeah, we talk about Emmys like now. since I've watched Only Murders, when I think Emmy winning, like something where I'm like, oh, that better win awards.
It's the deaf episode.
The deaf episode.
Which showed you the events of like the episodes before it, but from the deaf point of view.
Yeah. Oh,
and like
it's so good. The audio design, the acting.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so good.
So good. We also got some nominations for Loot, Saturday Night Live, The Gentleman, The Ms. Pat Show, Girls 5 Eva, and the other two for a couple actors, a couple directing and writing and all that. In the limited anthology series, we got nominations for Baby Reindeer, which was a huge thing when it came out. I haven't seen it. And Fargo, Season 4, Lessons in Chemistry, Ripley, and True Detective Night Country all got nominated for Best Limited or Anthology Series, as well as some actors and actresses in that, which I want to see most of these. I'm only in Season 3 of Fargo. And Best Limited or Anthology Series, The Fellow Travelers, Feud, Capote vs. the Swans, Griselda, The Sympathizer, Under the Bridge, and Black Mirror also got nominations. Fun fact, with The Sympathizer, Robert Downey Jr. got nomination for Best Supporting Actor. It could make one of like very few times that someone wins both an Oscar and an Emmy in the same year. Because as you know, he won Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
Well deserved. In the reality competition, RuPaul's Drag Race, Shark Tank, Traders, Top Chef, Survivor, Antiques Roadshow, Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives, Love is Blind, Queer Eye, Below Deck, Down Under, Love on the Spectrum, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, Vanderpump Rules, Welcome to Wrexham, The Amazing Race, The Voice, and the Squid Game The Challenge all got various nominations between unstructured reality, structured reality, best host, stuff like that. And the game shows, Celebrity Family Feud, Jeopardy, Password, Weakest Link, Wheel of Fortune, all got nominated for best host for their various hosts. And then they also all got best game shows nominations, except for The Weakest Link, which was beat out by The Price is Right for a nomination for best game show. In short form, we got, these are going to be comedy, drama, or variety, and like performance drama, comedy. Carpool Karaoke, the series, Late Night with Seth Meyers, Corrections, Only Murders in the Building, One Killer Question, Overtime with Bill Maher, The Eric Andre Show, Desi Liddick, Fox Plains from The Daily Show, RZR, I don't know if that's Razor or what, After the Cut, Hacks Bit by Bit, SNL Presents Behind the Sketch, The Making of Shogun, and The Crown, Farewell to a Royal Epic all got nominations. In variety, which this includes like talk show and then like specials, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Late Night with Seth Meyers, The Daily Show, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert all got nominations for Best Talk Series, amongst some directing for a series. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Saturday Night Live, 66th Grammy Awards, 76th Annual Tony Awards, the Apple Music Super Bowl, I don't know what initial that is, halftime show starring Usher, The Greatest Roast of All Time, Tom Brady, the Oscars, Billy Joel, the 100th Live at Madison Square Garden, Dave Chappelle, The Dreamer, Dick Van Dyke, 98 Years of Magic, Nikki Glazer, Someday You'll Die, Trevor Noah, Where Was I, Tig Notaro, Hello Again, Alex Edelman, Just For Us, Jacqueline Novak, Get On Your Knees, John Early, Now More Than Ever, and Mike Birbiglia, The Old Man in the Pool, all got nominations. In the Best Animated Program, we got nominations for Blue Eye Samurai, Bob's Burgers, Scavenger's Reign, The Simpsons, and X-Men 97. And then in Best TV Movie, which I don't know what qualifies these as TV movies, because some in here I'm like, that's a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
The nominations were Mr. Monk's Last Case, Quiz Lady, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Scoop, and Unfrosted. And that's what I got from miscellaneous news and post-trailers release dates. Quite a bit, but we saved you the best that we could.
Yeah, we'll try to get it condensed down and to comfortable listening format. Some of my miscellaneous news, not a whole lot. Nintendo announced the biggest Splatfest ever, Grand Festival, to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Splatoon 3. It sees the return of the first two pop idol groups from the first two games, the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook, in addition to the Kurt group Deep Cut. The new amiibo of the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook will launch on September 5th. The voting entries for the Splatfest will be past, present, and future. This begins September 13th and runs through the 16th. So if you are a Splatoon fan, that's pretty cool. I haven't gotten to play the games myself, even though I'm over 10 years and 3 entries late, but I like the characters and the music. I like it in theory. I just haven't gotten to play the games myself because games that I care about more come out instead.
Yeah.
Nintendo also announced a Joy-Con charging stand for Nintendo Switch, which will be like you just hook it up and you charge your Joy-Con separately from charging them on your Switch or plugging them up to one of the electric, however. Anyway, that releases October 17th. People are guessing it's because whatever the Switch successor is doesn't use the same hook on thing. Like the way to hook on your Joy-Con on the new Switch will be different from the old Joy-Con. So they're releasing this now so you can buy it for when you get your new Switch. You can still use your Joy-Con, but you can charge them in a way that isn't, oh, I need to keep my old Switch around to charge my Joy-Con now or however.
Yeah.
That's the theory. I agree with it. It's a little the fact that we're just now getting this 8 years into the Switch's lifespan means that it's got to be some other reason they're giving it to us now.
Yeah.
It'd be different if it was new Joy-Con colors, because new remote colors come late into the game all the time.
Yeah.
So the teaser Nintendo dropped last week for the new horror project,
which I said a quick no to,
has been given a full reveal, and you might actually take back that no, because
I saw a picture of it, but I don't.
It has now been revealed Emio is the Smiling Man, and Emio the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. So I mentioned I played the first game earlier. So this is the third entry in the series and the first new entry in the visual novel mystery series in 35 years. And so the gameplay, even though there's supernatural elements, the gameplay, it's more like reading a graphic novel.
It's not as scary as it looked in the trailer.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some like scary parts, but it'd be like reading a graphic novel scary where there's some audio things and but it's more about interrogating characters, finding clues, and just solving the mystery. You just kind of keep the story going, but you're doing a lot more reading than just sitting back and watching it happen like most modern games.
Yeah.
Anyway,
potential redraw.
So the first two games received remakes in 2021, making their way outside Japan for the first time. This one is just getting worldwide automatically.
Yeah.
The game synopsis is, a student has been found dead. His head was covered with a paper bag with an eerie smiling face drawn on it, much like the victims of Emio the Smiling Man, a killer of urban legend who is said to place such a bag over his victims' heads. As an assistant private investigator, you are tasked with helping police solve this crime, which is reminiscent of a series of unsolved murders from 18 years ago. Has a serial killer returned, or is this the work of a copycat? Are these crimes inspired by the Smiling Man story, or the origin of it? Discover the answers to these questions and more as a member of the Utsugi Detective Agency in this intense story of suspicion, isolation, and fragility. Explore an interactive drama full of interesting characters. Continue the adventures of the Utsugi Detective Agency with the return of familiar characters, including the returning protagonist from the previous games, and Ayumi Tachibana, who is now playable in certain sections for the first time in the series. Playing as the investigative duo, you will need to learn a lot about the personalities and backstories of the other characters if you want to discover the truth. Who is harmless and who is keeping important secrets? Ask questions, reference your notes, and make connections. You'll have to order your thoughts and examine your leads carefully to draw the right conclusions. And they released a short video where the producer of the game, who created the first two games, he was basically given full creative control. I mean, obviously he worked with a team who also gave input and stuff, but he was basically said, make a passion project, make a sequel to a game you haven't made in 35 years, and this is the result of that. Pretty cool. He's also, I can't remember his name, but he's also the producer of a lot of the Metroid games. Metroid Dread, I think, was him. That could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But
put an asterisk next to it.
But
it's gone from a solid no to a solid maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Not full on board yes yet, but I'm like,
the gameplay is very niche. There are a lot of people disappointed that it's not a full on horror project that it was kind of seeming to hint at.
Yeah,
I'm still very excited because hey, new game in 35 years, and it's a sequel to a couple games that people pretty liked. Okay, at this point in the game with Switch, if it was a fully new IP that was a horror project, which is a very wide audience, I would wait for the new console. I wouldn't release it on the Switch this late. So Nintendo doing a lot of these nicher game choices, that just makes sense for the end of a life cycle for a game from the company that owns that console itself.
Yeah.
So I mean, this year we got Paper Mario, which is niche in its own way. Mario Party is the wide one where everyone's going to get Mario Party.
Yeah.
The new Zelda, I would say, is kind of teetering. It's definitely neat. I mean, so this makes sense with the lineup of games we've got this year. So I'm not as disappointed because I was like, it would be cool if it was a horror project. I mean, I said last week, it's cool if it's a horror project. I mean, I kind of mentioned last week it might be a sequel to
something.
To something. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that's all cool. Xbox revealed a new Deadpool Xbox controller.
Yeah.
The back is shaped like Deadpool's butt. Unfortunately, it is only available to competition winners who enter a sweepstakes, which by the time you watch this episode, it will be too late to enter. So yeah. So that kind of, people are kind of like, it's raising a fuss about it, where it's like, why are these cool this is like straw that broke the camel's back thing, where people are like, why are all these cool controllers stuck behind me having to win them?
Yeah.
So
I want to just buy them.
River City Saga 3 Kingdoms Next has been announced for PlayStation, Switch, and PC to release on November 7th, 2024. The 2D platformer beat-em-up game by Arc System Works acts as the newest and final chapter to the River City Saga series. Surfpunk, a ska-infused co-op extraction action RPG, has been announced for PC by developers Double Stallion. No release date. We got an official trailer for Juno, the newest character to join Overwatch 2. Voiced by Xanthi Wynn, seems to be an astronaut futuristic support character. She seemed pretty cool. I don't play Overwatch, but the character looked cool.
Yeah.
We got an announcement trailer for Barbie Project Friendship, an adventure game following Barbie Malibu Roberts and Barbie Brooklyn Roberts, as they and their friends restore a community center featuring the original cast of Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures and developed with the show's head writer Ann Austin. The game launches on all platforms October 25th, 2024. The reason I brought this game up, because usually I bring up those games for like comedic, like, oh, new Smurfs game. The reason I brought this up was because the trailer released with a statement from Mattel saying that they want to start getting Barbie everywhere. Like, the movie did well, so they're going back and looking at the direct-to-DVD movies. I would assume, this is me making assumptions from the statement, they want to get her into the gaming space, which I think, I mean, Warner Brothers owns the rights to the Barbie movie, and Warner Brothers also owns Multiverses.
Segue,
so,
nice.
Yeah, segue points for me. Multiverses Season 2 will be revealed, or we'll have more information revealed July 22nd. So this Monday. We have been told that Warner Brothers Studio Tower will become a stage with Season 2, as well as Samurai Jack, Beetlejuice, and a ranked mode were announced to be coming in Season 2 at EVO this weekend, which is a fighting game tournament, big event for fighting games. So they made those announcements and said that Season 2 will be talked in length on Monday. So the Samurai Jack trailer looked pretty cool, and then it was just a short teaser. It was basically at the end of the Samurai Jack, they did the Season 2 picture and Beetlejuice was in the background, and then they released a 4-second trailer of Beetlejuice laughing, saying it's showtime. So that's all we know about Beetlejuice. But we know that Samurai Jack will launch with Season 2 and Beetlejuice will come at a later date. And I would assume other characters are coming, because when Season 1 was first announced, all we knew was Joker, and then later on they announced. So I'm sure we're not just getting 2 characters for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe I would guess 1 or 2 more. Probably the Powerpuff Girls. That seems to be what things are pointing towards, if not the Wicked Witch of the West, because of some other stuff I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Steel Wool Studios has announced the Freddy's Birthday Bash event at PAX West, happening August 29th through September 2nd, presumably to celebrate Five Nights at Freddy's 10th anniversary. That's all we know. There's some games and stuff we've already known about for the 10th anniversary. I would assume this is going to be updates on that, as well as more announcements. Yeah. So we will see then. That is all my miscellaneous news.
I got some new looks and first looks and announcements this week, and we got some new looks at Stranger Things Season 5 behind the scenes, and also a behind the scenes look at Micah Monroe from Long Legs. A new look at Terrifier 3. Then we got new clips from Twisters and Oddity. On the casting side, it was announced that in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, that Zoe Perry, Annie Potts, and Reagan Rivor will return as Mary, Mima, and Missy, only as guest stars.
Only it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Meemaw's not sticking around as a
series regular.
full character, just because of how usually spin-offs work. They usually keep one of the other breakout characters.
Yeah.
At least for the first season, then they go.
And then they go on their own way.
But it makes sense. They'll probably want to introduce a new set of characters.
She might be like recurring, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they might introduce a new set of characters, so when this one inevitably ends in 7 years, they can do a spin-off based on those characters.
Exactly.
And the Big Bang Theory will always have something on air.
It's like the new Cheers.
Yeah. Only a lot more divisive.
Oh, yeah. We got some new castings for Poker Face Season 2, which announced that it just did start filming. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-mm.
It's really good. My mom and I watched it. Giancarlo Esposito, Kumail Nanjiani, Katie Holmes, and Gabby Hoffman have all been cast in Season 2, probably in like each different episode, just like last season.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably going to be a ton more to come. And then it was announced that a Backdraft remake, I couldn't tell if it was like already announced or if it was like just announced along with this.
A potential.
Yeah. But Glenn Powell will reportedly star. My man.
On a roll, he is.
Oh, wait, he's going to be brought up once more later. And first looks, we got a first look at Conclave, directed by Edward Berger of All Quiet on the Western Front. Follows the death of a pope, the mysterious circumstances surrounding it, and the impending election for a new pope. I did see Ray Fiennes was in it, and I think Stanley Tucci, and two more I can't remember what they are, but they're like big names.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of want to see that. First look at Ben Stiller's first starring role in 7 years in Nutcrackers. Film follows a workaholic who suddenly becomes the caregiver for his 4 nephews after their parents die in an auto accident. First look at the Dexter prequel series called Dexter Original Sin. First look at young Dexter, and also first look at Christian Slater, who plays his dad.
Here we go. Original Sin, which I think is also a subtitle for something that already exists, but at least it's not young Dexter.
Exactly.
Or little Dexter.
Little D. It's releasing later this year on Paramount Plus. We got we got a first look at Chad Michael Murray's return as Jake in Freaky Friday 2. Also, I didn't catch this one week, but there was like a lot of the original Freaky Friday people coming back,
is returning,
including him.
A
lot of the original.
I wonder if this movie is why for another thing I'm gonna talk about later.
Yeah.
So that actually, thank you for telling me that, because that actually
for later.
That actually helps for later. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. The Suits spinoff series, which was announced a couple months ago, which is going to be taking place in L.A. First look at Stephen Amell, and today we got a first look at Glenn Powell once again for his next film. It's called Huntington, directed by John Patton Ford. The film follows the heir to a multi-billion-dollar fortune who will go to any lengths to grab everything he believes he deserves. Is Glenn Powell going to play a dirtbag in this?
He is.
Are they going to make me try to hate him?
He is back to back. I know he made a.
He's got a lot.
I know he made a statement this week where he was like, "Films are my love language," which is probably why he's doing so many. But it's like, man, he is a busy boy.
Oh yeah, and then he did say, "This reminds me. I'm going to bring it up. I wasn't going to." That's where it said, "Movies are my love language. I always ask my parents to stay in the movie theater all day during the summer. I love summers because I love summer blockbusters. I feel like I'm getting a chance to do the thing I've always wanted to do." Same, Glenn.
Yeah.
Same. He and I are one and the same. And in new announcements, we just got 2 of them. Timothy Chalamet will star as pro ping pong player Marty Reisman in a biopic written by Josh Safdie with A24. And then not the same A24, but A24 movie is in the works. Kiefer Sutherland's show. It is unknown if it will be a reboot or a sequel to the TV series. And that's the only real new announcement.
See, 24 as a TV show makes sense because each episode was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how is that
a movie?
How's the movie gonna work?
I have no idea.
It's gonna be called like 24.
Exactly.
1.5.
Okay, and then we've been super busy this week, so we both had a lot to cover. So I'm not going to mention any birthdays except for one. Thursday, July 18th, we got the 50th birthday of Papa Stump.
Yeah,
my
dad turned 50
and adopted father of myself.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Not actually adopted.
Well, not actually adopted, but as much as you've been at this house,
exactly,
and vice versa. I mean, we got that thing that says Stumpy Right on it. So we went.
Exactly.
I'm going to explain the backstory to this because it's funny.
I forgot about that.
So we were in speech and debate together, and our speech and debate coach, my nickname to most people is Stumpy. And so even when he was making reservations at the hotel, our speech and debate coach wrote Stumpy and Jay Wright for the hotel room we were in because we worked together on speech and debate stuff, so we had to be in the same room. And on the card for our hotel room, which for the longest time I kept it. I don't know what happened to it. I think it got lost.
Yeah.
But it said Stumpy Wright on it.
As if Wright was your last name.
As if Wright was my last name. And so that was when Jay's mom was like, well, you're officially a Wright child now.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
It's like our parents are like vice versa with like...
Oh, yeah. It's like,
part of your family, you're part of my family.
Yeah.
And likewise with all of our other friends.
And so it's... But
Stump.
Yeah, turned 50. We did a big birthday bash for him on the day of the recording of this episode.
Yes.
And so
a couple of days after his birthday. But he did turn 50 on July 18th. Happy birthday, Papa Stump.
So happy birthday.
You got one big anniversary?
Yeah, Barbenheimer is a year old as of today, right?
Today was the Thursday premieres of all of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so as
if you're going by official release dates tomorrow.
Today or
Thursday premieres was...
Well, it's 1 year of Barbenheimer or Barbmenheimer because Pikmin 4 came out that Friday. So
I thought you were saying because Ken was the main focus. Just kidding.
No, that'd be Barb Kenheimer. But yeah, that's the only anniversary. Like I said, busy weekend, both personally and because of news. So, we're gonna skip it, and we're gonna have to skip it next week.
Oh yeah,
unfortunately,
next week is gonna be a massive episode.
It is the
we're
segment
saying this as
that
if we're wrapping up the episode.
No, we're not
still
wrapping.
Got more to talk about.
I've still got anime and comics
and
to
I got
talk
Marvel
about,
stuff.
So,
but no, next week is gonna be massive. You'll find out San Diego Comic-Con. So we're cutting a lot of like birthdays, anniversaries. We're gonna zoom through some stuff and then hit San Diego.
And so only 2 anime news things this week. The first look at Ranma Half anime reboot comes from the team behind Attack on Titan, the final season, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man. Mappa is the name of that team. Ranma returns with the original voice cast October 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. It's like one of those legacy anime that's getting a reboot. I don't like the colors compared to the old one. The new one is just way too... I don't know how to describe it. Pastel, like it's kind of gives if you look at a picture. If you look at a picture of the old one, which was from the 80s and 90s, if you look at the new one, you get whiplash almost. The difference is almost like ugh. Yeah. But that's a personal preference. It has also been confirmed that Jamie Lee Curtis will not be playing the character in One Piece Season 2 that everyone was wanting her to play, including her, due to scheduling conflicts, which, thanks to your reminder, is probably Freaky Friday 2.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I mean, she's not going to leave Disney for... She wouldn't be able to. Like, she probably,
like an iconic movie like
she
that.
Probably already signed the contract before casting even started for One Piece Season 2. So while it's disappointing, I also trust the team to find the right person for the role.
Oh yeah, and at least it's not because she didn't want to.
And for all we know, they could find another character for her.
Yeah.
Later, because she likes One Piece so much. Yeah. So, and the thing is, her favorite character is Chopper, and the character people wanted her to play is basically Chopper's mom figure.
Oh, that would have been so perfect.
So it's like, oh man,
big missed opportunity,
but it happens.
Kind of unavoidable.
There's been a lot of scheduling conflict reasons where it's either you've dodged a bullet and it's like, oh thank goodness that way we got the actor who was right, and then there's times like this where it's like, dang it.
At least she didn't like turn it down.
Oh yeah, at least
you know Matt Damon
because
did for
she
Avatar.
did say she would turn it down if she didn't like the first season.
Yeah, which means she liked the first season.
Yeah,
because it did specifically say it was conflict.
Scheduling conflict. So
yeah, she wanted to do it.
So there we have it, and onto the comic side of things. I only have a couple. Comic solicitations for IDW, DC, and Marvel were all released, but after trying to do that once, I've said it. I'm not going to just go to comicbook.com and read all those solicitations there. Yeah. But some highlights: DC revealed the first look at the DC Trinity, which is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, in the new Absolute universe as part of the October All In Comics initiative. These are my notes, because I don't have the picture to pull up to show Jay. These are my notes that I wrote when I saw them for the first time.
Yeah.
Seems ... edgy. Lots of black and red. Batman is built like shirtless Kylo. Wonder Woman has a tattoo sleeve, and Superman has long hair, which means historically that Superman means business. Those are my notes. We also got new covers for the Multiverses comic revealed and confirming that the Wicked Witch of the West is part of the story. So we don't know if that means she's going to be playable at some point, because these were written like way before the game got restructured and like taken down and re-released. She's got stuff in the files of the game, so I'd assume she's still far enough along they're going to use her. It's just timing might be different. I would guess they're going to wait until when Wicked comes out, even though it's not the Wicked version of the character.
But
I would wait until same with like Scooby-Doo's on the front cover of every single one, which seems to mean that he's a big part of the story, but then like Scooby-Doo's not playable, so so we'll see what happens there. DC also announced Batman and Robin Year 1, a 12-issue comic following the duo's first year together from storytellers Mark Waid and Chris Samney. It releases issue 1 on October 16th. The synopsis is, while Bruce Wayne adjusts to the realities of adopting orphan Dick Grayson, a mysterious new crime boss called the General has come to Gotham to claim the city by disrupting and destroying its other mobs. But what is his connection to Two-Face? Batman and his new sidekick Robin are out for answers, but it'll take everything to have to navigate both sides of the relationship as father and son and dynamic duo, with Dick Grayson's present and future hanging in the balance. And then on IDW side, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto crossover comic will release this October, and IDW announced a Monster Piece theater comic that follows Godzilla-facing characters such as Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, H.G. Wells' Time Traveler, Jay Gatsby, and the Titanic.
Looking crushed Gatsby.
You know, the famous character, the Titanic.
What? I just realized what you said.
So that's one of those ones where it's like, okay, get as many public domain things as you can and make a comic with Godzilla.
What if the green light that Gatsby sees is just like the hue from Godzilla's atomic breath as it's flowing towards him?
And it's just two panels. Green light. Whoosh.
That's all it is.
And then his charred remains fall into the pool and he dies like the American Dream or whatever we were supposed to interpret that book as. I actually really enjoyed it. For me, Great Gatsby is like Citizen Kane, where it is one of the best boring things you will ever consume.
Oh yeah, just you got in a car wreck.
Well, yeah, then it gets interesting. But like what? Well, that's like Citizen Kane. The ending of Citizen Kane is also one of the things like, oh, Rosebud. Now I'm paying attention. So it's like, yeah. So there you have it. Citizen Kane and Great Gatsby are on the same level, apparently, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what you're saying.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Die on that hill.
Okay, yeah, I will.
I'm just kidding.
Great Gatsby is the literary equivalent of what Citizen Kane did to cinema. There we go.
There you go.
I will die on that hill, even though I don't actually believe that.
We always die on false beliefs. And on my side of the comic news, we didn't get much for DC. Kite Man, as we said before, got a series premiere on Max. Hot Toys revealed a Batman imposter Elseworlds figure of Heath Ledger's Joker. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's crazy awesome. How much it looks like him.
Oh,
yeah.
Superman and Lois, we got the first poster for the final season airing on CW. And then the trailer, we got a trailer teaser this week, which teases that the full trailer will release at San Diego Comic-Con next week. And we also got a new poster for Batman Caped Crusader.
We're getting so close to release.
Dropping on August 1st. Then in Marvel, we got a bunch of news. As previously mentioned, Hitmonkey Season 2 premiered on Hulu. We got a lot of news on Deadpool and Wolverine. It will have its own Hall H panel at San Diego Comic-Con titled Marvel Studios, The Ultimate Deadpool and Wolverine Celebration of Life on Thursday, July 25th to celebrate the film's opening. Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Sean Levy will be attending. We got a new teaser earlier in the week featuring a look at Lady Deadpool and many other Deadpool variants. The soundtrack was released, which did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Featured The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman, which makes me wonder if are we going to see Hugh Jackman busted.
What's the
song?
Context of that? Because they said it's just the same recording from the other soundtrack. So
yeah.
I can't wait to see what the context for that is. It's gonna be a joke. I'm probably gonna roll my eyes at.
Oh yeah. But it's gonna be like gold.
Yeah.
It's also going to feature Bye 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 from NSYNC and You're the One That I Want from Grease. So good. Lady in Red is also here.
I imagine that's going to play when
Lady
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the first clip released, and we got a final trailer. I believe it was Thursday. Revealed the full look at Lady Deadpool and the return of. Should I say this? In case people don't want to spoil it.
Marvel spoiled it, so why not?
We got it revealed the return of X-23, Daphne Keene's X-23.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a new look today at Hugh Jackman as Wolverine with his claws out. We got a new look at Agatha all along this week. We got some news on Avengers 5 and Secret Wars on the directing side. It was announced this week that the Russo brothers are in talks to direct, as well as bring back into the fold of Marvel Studios on, quote, various fronts. Hollywood agency CAA tried to convince Kevin Feige to hire Greg Berlanti, Noah Hawley, and other candidates to direct the sequels, but Feige wasn't interested in them. But then, later on in the week, he said he can't comment on if the Russo brothers are returning to direct the sequels, saying, quote, it was somebody else a couple weeks ago, and I look forward to seeing who it is going to be next week. So do with that what you will.
I kind of hope it's the Russo brothers.
Same. They've done so good with...
And if they're being put just into the fold in general, even if they aren't directing the new Avengers movies, then that means maybe they can help push things in a consistent direction.
Oh yeah, I mean they are 4 for 4.
Yeah, so
in the MCU, Winter Soldier consistently one of the best things
mm-hmm.
they put out. It was announced this week that Kevin Feige will get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame next week. Yay! In the Spider Noir side, Lee Jun Lee was cast in an undisclosed role. On Spider-Man 4, Kevin Feige says they have writers working on the film now, quote, who are going to be delivering us a draft relatively soon. It was actually announced while we were filming. He also confirmed that they will likely be looking for a new director for Spider-Man 4 instead of John Watts.
Which I think John Watts already said that when No Way Home came out, that he's like, I'm done, get someone else. So.
Yeah. On the news side of the MCU's X-Men movie, Kevin Feige teases what to expect from the movie, saying, quote, you'll probably see a mix of characters you've seen before and characters you've never seen before. He seemingly confirmed that the Blade movie, if we ever get it, will be rated R. Quote, I think, like Deadpool, that's inherent with the character of Blade. And he also confirmed that a Nova series is in the works, focused on Richard Rider, but he said it is, quote, 3 or 4 years out. So, obviously, especially with Disney going down to, I think, 2 shows a year now?
Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit before we see it. That is surprisingly a lot of Marvel news
for
the week before San Diego Comic-Con.
Which probably means that he's like, I'm getting some of the other stuff out of the way because
we got some big stuff coming up. Well, like I said, we'll have a lot more next week. We got some celebrity deaths, not as much as we have been the past 2 weeks.
Thank goodness.
However, we did get a big one. James Sicking, he was 90. He was on Doogie Howser, MD, and the Hill Street Blues. Naomi Pomeroy, 49. She was on Top Chef Masters. She died in an inner tube accident. A couple days ago, Chang Pei Pei. She was 78. She's a martial arts icon known for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And then I believe it was yesterday.
I think so. Yesterday, 2 days ago.
Bob Newhart, legendary deadpan comedian and known for obviously his titular show Newhart, and I put The Big Bang Theory on here.
Yeah, because
that's
his
like the first
episodes
two
of
that came
Big
to my
Bang Theory,
mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amongst
he was 94.
So much others.
Oh, but I mean,
so
much others.
Yeah.
But he was 94. He passed away. In our sources this week, I have the Movie Insider, Deadline, Famous Birthdays, New York Times, At Total Film, LA Times, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, What's on Netflix, the official Emmys website, Bloody Disgusting, Lad Bible, Vulture, Rolling Stone, Puck, Entertainment Weekly, Gizmodo, Inverse People, Us Magazine, and of course, Discussing Film, my main source of information.
I would like to thank my sources this week: Deadline, Discussing Film, IGN, Nintendo Life, Variety, comicbook.com, and official sites and socials of the studios and companies mentioned.
And now on to week 4 of 5 of our tier list, ranking fictional detectives on how well / how fast they will figure out Batman's secret identity. We got another 7 for you this week. A pretty diverse.
Yeah, this is more diverse than the other
episode
than the other 3 episodes have been.
You're gonna have to help me with this.
So Professor Layton is our next one, and he has not played a single Professor Layton game.
This is gonna be all on you.
So it'll be all on me to say that he will go in A.
Hey,
He's not quite S, but he is very, very smart. He's good at figuring things out. It's just that he gets stopped by every other civilian who needs him to solve a brain teaser. So, amongst other, other different things, where he does get duped very easily.
yeah.
There are certain masters of disguise and stuff where he gets duped easily, or he allows the person to do whatever they're planning, even if he knows what's going on, because he's like, now's not the time to stop this, and it does lead to certain problems. But he has solved mysteries that have saved the world before. So like,
Thus,
he's pretty good
quality over
detective.
quantity, yeah.
So I would say that he goes in A.
We got Tom Selleck from, I almost said Miami Vice. That's not right.
No,
Jesus. Why did I?
Magnum PI.
I don't know why I immediately. I heard Tom Selleck, and I'm like, old show, Miami Vice. No, I knew that was two dudes. Anyway, Tom Selleck from Magnum PI. This is specifically Tom Selleck, not Jay Hernandez. Once again, I have not watched any of Magnum PI.
Do we just want to put him in this? I'm trying to. It's been so long since I've watched an episode. I know.
Do you need to text your mom real quick about this?
It's. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go get consulting because because I was thinking about this all week, and then I was like, I haven't actually it's been longer than I thought since I've watched it. So I'm gonna.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first official. Someone else will be ranking it for us.
Yeah.
Which is probably a disgrace because I used to watch it all the time, but I don't. It's late. I don't care.
Yeah.
So it has been given by the council that Tom Selleck, Magnum PI, not the modern, the old Tom Selleck, Magnum PI, goes in high B.
High B. Reasons.
He would totally figure out that Batman is Bruce Wayne. If not the fact that he might be Batman because he's a rich man with a butler. So
genius.
And my uncle specifically said the mustache is the one that figures it out.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm actually.
Yeah.
Actually, Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. The mustache really helps.
Mustache.
But yeah. So I said, should I put him where I put Jessica Fletcher? And they said yes.
Okay.
And that he could totally all the way figure it out. Yeah. So.
In his own swap way.
And hey, he's rich man. The same kind of the way we kind of gave Castle points where they might run in the same circles.
That's fair. That's fair.
So high B. I'll say high B. Yeah, we ranked Castle higher than we usually would, because he might cross paths with Bruce Wayne if they exist in the same.
Oh, that's
universe.
right, and then be like, well, I'm an author.
From a writing standpoint, wouldn't it be funny?
It'd be funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we got. I forget the names of these.
McQueen and.
From Dark Side Detectives?
The Dark Side Detectives. This is an indie. People might not know this one as much. These are indie. Dooley. McQueen and Dooley. So these are a pair of. It's a detective and his policeman sidekick who solve paranormal mysteries for a police station's official paranormal mystery section.
Yeah.
And so they solve just paranormal mystery stuff. And I've kind of fumbled. They kind of fumble their way through it a lot, though. Yeah. Especially Dooley.
I've played. Oh yeah, Dooley's me. I played a little bit of one of these with you years ago.
Oh yeah, it's been.
So I don't remember a lot from it. I remember most from what our game inspired.
I almost want to put them in C because they might figure it out. But I
was gonna say I sense a butt coming.
But it would take them a little bit.
Should we put it in?
And what it would be is it would be some Justice League Dark stuff that they would accidentally get involved in, and then they might figure it out on accident.
It's because one of those through conjunctions.
Because Dooley is like, oh hey McQueen, check this out, and accidentally opens up a thing to the Batcave or something. So we'll put them in low C.
Low C.
Because they might
lowest of C's.
Yeah.
All right, now we got Monk. Have you seen Monk?
Yes, I've watched Monk.
I've never seen Monk.
He is very, very good detective. Very, very good. I don't know if I want to put him in S though, so maybe A. But he's extremely good.
Extremely good.
And part of it is he's like the germaphobe and everything.
Yeah,
and stuff. So that makes him a lot more detail. He notices.
Kind of like OCD, but
yeah. So I would say A.
A.
Yeah.
We got I believe this is Mulder and Scully
Mulder and Scully.
from the X-Files.
This is also one where I might not make a popular decision here. You've watched X-Files, right? Have you watched?
No,
You haven't watched any X-Files?
No, but I know about it.
So a lot of it is.
I know it's like supernatural stuff.
It's supernatural stuff.
And aliens.
One's a believer, one's not a believer, and then they spend a lot of back and forth going, it's this, it's not this. It's a lot of the...
David Duchovny.
And so...
Gillian Anderson.
I would say... But do they actually solve things, though? Because a lot of the time they go to solve things, and then whatever they're trying to solve ends up attacking them anyway.
Yeah.
Let's put them in B.
B.
Just right in the middle.
Right down the middle of the road.
Middle of the road.
As you can see, most of our detectives on these are just average.
Yeah. Where it's like, they could probably get it figured out eventually.
Yeah. There's quite
But we're
literally an
saying
equal
C
amount.
is probably the average because they're really good detectives. They're just not quite there, or they will accidentally solve things because of their own incompetence.
Yeah.
B is where you get to the more
Above
like, no, they're
average.
actually skilled. A is excellent. S is, so
Top
it's...
S stands for Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
So,
S
I
is
can tell
on
you
their
what
level,
I said
and I
after
would
this.
say Mulder and Scully are definitely not Sherlock Holmes level.
Yeah.
And I don't. So yeah, I'll say B because
B.
they would probably be able to figure things out.
Yeah. Mystery Incorporated.
Is that our last one of the episode?
Nope.
Oh, we got one more. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Mystery Incorporated, I want to put them. I'm trying not to be biased here. I'm trying to think of realistically how they would figure things out. Because what it would be Velma and Fred would probably figure it out. Daphne would definitely help along the way, and then Scooby and Shaggy would
Once again, stumble upon the Batcave.
They would, yeah.
Raiding the fridge.
And they've
of
met
Wayne
Batman
Manor.
before.
Yeah.
They've been in the Batcave, although they've been blindfolded and taken to the Batcave. And it's also, I'm pretty sure there's a crossover movie where at the very end they're like, we figured out who Batman is, and Batman gets real worried, and then they like throw files to the side and say like, he's a guy with a big heart. It's like they totally figured it out, and they're like, no, we're gonna keep the secret.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe they're A tier because they always solve the mystery, except for one time they have always solved the mystery. They've always gotten their bad
Was
guy.
it one time?
They've always unmasked the person. The one time is a Mystery Incorporated. There is a villain who gets away and then comes back later. It's when they break up and
Oh, okay.
so yeah,
A?
I would say A. And it
A?
might be me being biased, but like they've interacted with Batman a lot. They probably already know, especially because in one continuity Alfred Pennyworth is like an uncle to Daphne. So
Okay.
like if
would've
Daphne
liked
is
Summer
that
at the
close to
manor.
or something like
Something like
that.
that,
So
yeah.
like
One wrong move and she could be Batgirl.
yeah. So
Last one, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. So where
That's
did
one
we
of the
put the
episodes.
Hardy Boys in C?
Oh, well, we did. I feel like Nancy
Because
Drew has to be above them.
Nancy Drew is has to be above them, but do we put her all the way in B, or do we just put her like higher in C?
Shoot, if we're going higher, we need to reorganize these.
True.
I was thinking like B.
You think B?
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
because
B.
she does
When I
have
say
a
like
little
higher
bit.
than
She
Hardy
does
Boys,
have
I
a
think
little
like
bit.
higher level.
I mean, which one of them has a long? Which one of these set of fictional characters has a long-running series of mystery games and things because she's just such a good detective that they keep wanting to write stories with her.
And if you think of like fictional detectives, you're gonna think of Nancy Drew before you think of Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
I feel like
So she might be able to figure it out
B.
if she's not, too worried about whatever teenage things going on in the book. But
Yeah. I'll say B.
maybe she goes to school with Dick Grayson or something.
Yeah, and then from there, just
Yeah.
be like
So yeah,
B.
B. We'll put
Dear.
Nancy Drew in B.
For our
Unless someone says otherwise to us between now and the next episode. But
Yeah. For our penultimate episode, we have ended on S remains untouched from last week with Sherlock Holmes, Columbo, and Poirot still holding it down. A, previously held down by just Benoit Blanc and Basil, is now joined by Professor Layton, Mystery Incorporated, and Monk. Old Tony Shalhoub there. B, we got some new additions. We still got Bones Duo, the BAU from Criminal Minds, Inspector Gadget, Jake Peralta, Jessica Fletcher, Jessica Jones, joined by Tom Selleck from Miami
Tom Selleck from Magnum P.I., Mulder and Scully from X-Files, and Nancy Drew. on C tier. Stayed pretty much the same except for one addition. So we have Amy Santiago, Castle and Beckett, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Commissioner Gordon, Eddie from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the Hardy Boys, Ace Ventura, and McQueen and Dooley from Dark Knight Detective. And then in D tier, we have
Detective Pikachu.
Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun.
Inspector Clouseau.
Inspector Clouseau. How have we not learned the Naked Gun character's name?
I don't know. It's a simple Google.
And I've watched the movie before. That's the sad part.
I haven't seen all three of them.
Yeah.
You're also talking to someone who literally said Miami Vice earlier, corrected himself before he said it, and now just went on and said Miami Vice as if it was an actual thing with Tom Selleck.
Fair. But yeah, so that is our tier list for these detectives, ranked on how if they could figure out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Mm-hmm. Next week will be our final week for this tier list. Although I've been told there's so many detectives that we have left out.
Have you?
That we might have to do like this a second time at a later point,
not include these,
and not include these. Like do a whole new set of detectives.
Is there a way to save this?
Yeah, totally. There'll be a way to where I'll just make a whole new tier list. But so possibly stay tuned for that, because I have been reminded of a lot of detectives we didn't include, and there's some that we knew we didn't include on purpose because we just had so many. But if you are watching this, or wherever you are watching this podcast, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the podcast on all socials at Mondays for Nerds. Follow me, Tristan Stump, at Sir Stumpsalot or Sir Stumpsalot17 on most social medias.
Follow me at PolarPanda001 on Twitter. That's basically all I'm on.
That's basically all he's on.
I might post the occasional Instagram.
Hop on for his occasional weird takes, and then sometimes
mostly animals.
Mostly animal takes, and then sometimes he says stuff about movies.
Yeah.
But
go see Twisters.
Hope this brightened up your Monday a little bit, and that you're looking forward to next week, San Diego Comic-Con.
We're gonna have a big episode, probably the biggest episode we've had.
Yeah,
maybe
it'll probably be Beat Out Gamescom and
for sure.
Anarchy. So
yeah,
Honesty. I've said it wrong this is my Magnum PI Miami Vice.
6 episodes ago.
Yeah. Anyway, so
you've now joined us for 10 episodes. Mondays are for the nerds.
So if you've listened to all 10 episodes, thank you.
Yes, you're our dedicated listener, #1 fan base.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.